Nathan, how you doing, man?
Can you hear me good, yeah?
I can hear you.
Oh, good, yeah. No, but the AirPods got my sister took the AirPods, so I can't play it. I don't have like direct mic, you know what I mean?
Hey, no problem, no problem. Yeah, first off, thanks for taking the time to join me. I know it's your first time on Empire Universal Media, so just welcome.
Thanks very much for having me, man. I never really got interviewed by an American before, so this is the first, definitely, yeah.
Sorry, did you call me American?
Just are you Canadian?
No, I'm actually from Canada.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's my bad. That's my bad. I'm one. My ear is untrained.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I know sometimes Americans they know I'm from Canada because I have a bit of the Canadian accent, so no worries. And I understand that you are you're in Ireland. You train in Ireland. Whereabouts in Ireland were you born?
Dublin. I'm from Dublin.
And you
In a
still live
from
in Dublin?
Yeah, yeah. I'm from a town called Finglas. In Dublin, small town. I'm from Finglas in Dublin. A proud Finglas native.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I know Dublin's always like the capital in Ireland. Um, but yeah, I just want to get started here.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
has a story. I know that you were a gamer. You're playing UFC 2009, and then was that the direct was that the direct response to you starting your MMA career, or was there prior interest in pursuing that as a career?
Nah, when I was a kid, I just wanted to play football. You know what I mean? So like, our used to call it soccer, like or whatever. So yeah, I had like, even though like I wasn't the greatest, I just had big dreams in it. You know what I mean? I thought I could be a professional footballer and this and that. I dreamt really big, and then I kind of came out of my senses and see like I wasn't really getting as much game time. So I was like, I want to try something new. You know what I mean? And just around the right time, around that time I was playing this game. You know what I mean? And I think it just so happened that it caught me. It made a good impression on me at the right time in my life because I think I was just looking for something new and looking for something that I could start from scratch at and see how I get on. You know what I mean? And MMA was probably one of the best things to do that. Like jiu-jitsu, everyone starts from scratch. Everyone starts from a position where they know nothing and they have to learn a lot. You know what I mean? So just it just so happened that I was playing the game and I really liked the training. Like when you do your fighter, create your fighter, the storyline and stuff like that, you get to learn the moves and stuff like that through the way the demo does it in the game. So I just thought all the grappling stuff was intriguing because I was mad into the WWE as a kid and I always just loved wrestling and all that jazz. So once I learned about that, I got more intrigued, and then like I said, it just came across me at the right time. I made the decision to do it. I actually joined Marley for grappling. You know what I mean? I was intrigued by the grappling, but my first ever class was a Muay Thai class, and I did it, and I just decided there and then on the day, this is what I want to do with myself for the rest of my life. It was, I just knew how much dreams and desire I had. You know what I mean, inside me as a kid. That if I committed to this, I could do it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like anything you put your mind to it, you can do it, right?
Yeah, like I've always had that approach in my life. I always thought like if I love something enough and I'm driven enough to do something, you know what I mean? It just obviously it'll be a long journey, but like that's what it's all about. The journey is the best part of it. So believe in yourself to get there and just put in the work. Like I'm a really hard worker. I always have been, even as a young teenager. The time and the effort I put into training. You know, I trained like every day was my last day. You know what I mean? And like I'd never get to train again. And like I'd always perform like I in training like with pure commitment. You know what I mean? I think when you commit yourself fully, you'll see the commitment will bring you to places you've never really gone before and grow in many ways that you've never thought you'd grow and stuff like that. So I'm just glad that I made that commitment when I was that kid and just believed in himself to achieve something in this sport. I've always believed I could do it, so I was gonna keep believing this and see where it takes me.
Very good perspective on the sport you have. Now that being said, you had 13 amateur fights. At what point did you know that where you were ready for the pro scene? Was it something that you discussed with your coaches, or was it just something that you believed in yourself?
So basically, yeah, I had them fights in the IMAFs. So I got the silver medal in the IMAFs, which is the amateur world. championships. So that was in Vegas 2016. So I got silver in that, you know what I mean? Came back knowing, you know what I mean, that I was at a high level after the success in the tournament, you know what I mean? And I kind of, you know what I mean, would have been on our minds, you know what I mean? So I came home, I fought two more regional fights, I won both of them against the two top lads in the country, beside bar myself, you know what I mean? And I think it was just my coach at the time, Barry. He decided that, you know what I mean. It was kind of hard to get fights in Ireland against local regional lads and stuff like that. So we just decided, maybe if we say may take a step to pro, we'll get more opportunities and really get a chance to show how good we are. You know what I mean. So after the second fight, I think that was, I can't remember exactly when it was, but my pro debut would have been shortly after that. It wouldn't have been too long after that. Within a year, I'd say maybe. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we just decided to do it, and we just felt it was the right time. You know what I mean? I just think I agreed on my skill. My grappling skill was very high. You know what I mean? And although maybe my striking wasn't quite there, you know what I mean? I think I knew enough about fighting to, like, I have a good brain for fighting and know when to attack, when not to attack, when to fight and how to fight. Basically, it's like an IQ, you'd say. But like I thought that could get me through fights along with me grit and me determination. So I was just ready to make the jump because I love a challenge as well, and I was just like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's make it something the pro scene. Like,
And then, jumping into your pro career, you started off maybe not the way you wanted to with two losses, but then now you're on a 6-fight winning streak. How do you
yeah.
feel about your career so far? And do you feel is easier to get those losses out of the way versus being undefeated for so long and then getting those losses?
Yeah, like, I don't know, but I have this perception on it just because I've went through it. Like, whereas, like, I just feel like, now obviously I've never been undefeated, and then I lost my streak. I never built up a big streak, but I just feel like if you lose with an undefeated streak, you've already won. Just say, for example, it's 10 fights, right? You've already won 10 fights. Losing one, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because you already won 10. You'll probably win the next one, and then you're 11-1, just for example. Whereas when you're making your at the start of your career, you know what I mean? Them wins are everything, because you need to build the record, you need to get the respect, you need to earn the credibility. You know what I mean? And I lost my first two, so having a good amateur career, you know what I mean, and really believing in myself, and then losing my first two, it was a real eye opener to the realities of the game. You know what I mean? And I really think that, like, I took it way harder than obviously I should have. But at the same time, it's your pro career. You're a young kid. You're ambitious. You're obviously going to be disheartened by having two losses. So in doing that, I obviously went to places mentally and stuff like that where I would have been very down, depressed, and stuff like that, and didn't really know if it was the right thing for me to keep doing. And now all these doubts you've lost your first two, and I'm glad that I've experienced them, because without that experience and that struggle, I wouldn't have grown into the fighter that's gone 6-0 since. You know what I mean? So I think losing them two really woke me up to my potential if I made the right changes and kind of just changed my life around for the best. And here I am now. I've learned my lessons from losses, and I'm enjoying the rewards of the winning now. You know what I mean?
Well, on a positive note, you just got to fight under the PFL banner. Congratulations for signing with them, by
PFL,
the
shout out
way.
PFL.
And
One third,
also a
there you
big you're
go.
welcome. And a big congratulations making that big statement in the PFL 2022 PFL 8 2022 playoffs. First off, I guess, like, that being said, how did that feel, and what's next for Nathan Kelly in 2023?
Yeah, it felt really good, man. I think, you know what I mean. I had a lot riding on it because it was the first fight on the ESPN main card. You know what I mean? They took a gamble in it, putting us on the main card. They took the risk and letting the young, kind of less experienced guys fight on it. But you know what I mean. I just took it all in my stride, and I really thought I felt like I deserved to be there. I mean, that was my fifth fight in a year. I've worked me ass off the last year, you know what I mean? And to get that fight on the main card to kind of like top off my year of fighting, you know what I mean? That was, it was like the cherry on the cake, you know what I mean? And to perform like I did, in the manner I did with the aggression, the control, the just focus. You know what I mean? I felt really focused in there, and to do that in front of them on such a big stage, and you know what I mean. There was obviously a mishap on the main card. Fights were changed and this and that. So then I stepped up with something to prove, and I really felt like I had something to prove, and I wanted to show everyone how skilled I actually am as a martial artist. I just felt like I always, it's all good in saying that, yeah, I'm really good, I'm this and that, and blah blah blah, but it's your results that show it at the end of the day. And I said it to the PFL crew, you won't regret giving me this opportunity, because I'm coming to show you that I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? And I
Absolutely.
think in doing that, I just had that confidence going into it, and no matter who would have been standing in front of me, I think I would have went through him regardless, just because of how good I felt and how confident I felt in my skills and my abilities.
Now, you mentioned this was your fifth fight of this year.
Yeah, so not this exact year, but 12 months to the date of when I had my first fight. So I've had a fight in August last year. So I fought in August, September, February, July, and then in August again. So in that, from that August to August period, I had five pro fights. Yeah.
That's quite the amount. How much weight do you normally cut, and is it an easy weight cut for you?
Yeah, it's quite easy. Like I'm a featherweight. I'm not the tallest featherweight. You know what I mean? I have a bit of like I have wide shoulders. I'm kind of broad and whatever like that. But I'm not the biggest. You know what I mean? I'm just really explosive and powerful and fast. I think my all the blend of my height and all my attributes works well for my body size. So I don't have to cut much weight. I reckon like my last fight, I only cut like 3 kilos, if even 3 kilos, and that's over the course of two nights, like a little sweat the night before, and then just doing a bat the next morning. Like, you know what I mean? I only had to do a bat for 20 minutes. It was so easy. But like that, I think it's gotten easier over time because of I had 5 fights over the year, so every time I got it better. Every time it was closer to the weight I wanted to be, because I knew what I had to do in and around what time to be at a certain weight, a certain week out. You know what I mean? Because it's just all progress, all consistency, all discipline. You know what I mean? And I think like I've learned a lot over the last year in terms of weight cutting, be it doing it safely, what to eat, what not to eat, and all that jazz that goes into the weight cutting process. Obviously, it can be risky, but I've came across in a way that's suits my style and suits my needs, and I'm not doing too much harm to my body from it either. You know what I mean?
And I know that you had received a bit of an injury. I could see your hand at the
Oh
beginning
yeah.
of this. I know you just got through surgery. So how did you get that injury? Was it prior to the fight? Was it because of the fight, or was it after the fight?
No, so basically, I was in the fight. I threw a right hand, and it just grazed the side of his head, but my thumb just caught on the side of his head, like so. It just kind of glanced off it, and in doing so, pulled the ligament tear off the bone. Oh, where's the camera? Tear off the bone. So it was just it was just a freak thing. You know what I mean? It happens in a fight where your thumbs are exposed. You know what I mean? It can happen, but it was instant pain. Like I punched him, felt it, and the pain was that sore, like that. I just bit down on my gum shield and just start throwing bombs. And then luckily for me, I hit him with a few punches that led to me taking his back. So I was very fortunate that I didn't have to fight another 2 or 5 minute rounds and try sustain a high pace with this injury. You know what I mean? So I just thought when I heard it, I just thought, fuck it, I need to put this guy away now, because I can't fight 2 more rounds like this. You know what I mean? So I just bit down, start swinging, try to hold him, and try rock him to then either knock him out or lead him. The game plan was to get him hit him so much that he gets knocked out or wants to grapple. So I just started swinging and said, if I don't knock him out, he's going to want to grapple. He came into grapple, I took his back, and then from there, I was. There was no way he was getting not going anywhere but getting choked because of the I was like, I can't let this fella get out of this, or else I'm fucked. I was like, so I have to finish him. As I got his back, I have to finish him. I have to finish him. Like, I wasn't letting go. I was trying my hardest to always apply pressure, just so we could not escape. And luckily for me, my perseverance got me there in the end. I just would not stop unless I choked him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was very fortunate though. Like, I had to get a surgery. It was 4 weeks, and like I'm in my cast now. I'm getting my cast off next week, but it's 4 weeks in the cast, a few weeks of rehab then, and then I should be getting back to it. You know what I mean? So I'm fortunate in that way that I didn't really damage it further. I could have been out longer, and that would have been a bit of a mental struggle in itself. You know what I mean? After being so active all the time, but no, I'm happy now. I'll be back training now in the next few weeks.
Excellent. And I don't sometimes I don't feel certain fans really understand how many fighters truly get injured in the fight, even if it's minimal. Come on, tell these casual fans like how common it is for fellow fighters you see that get injured in their fight.
Yeah, like it is common. You know what I mean? A lot of time people do get out uninjured. You know what I mean? But it's common enough because if it's not an injury, you're beat up. You know what I mean? And it's like, for example, if some guy is taking leg kicks off this great leg kicker, you know what I mean, and his leg is dead the next day, full of bruises, he's sore, he can barely walk. You know what I mean? That's one example. Some guy gets a cracker of a shot on the nose, breaks his nose, and now he has a broken nose. That's another example. Cuts obviously is there. You know what I mean? Knockouts are there. You're getting concussed, sore head for weeks. Like these are all other parts of it. You know what I mean? But in terms of injuries, I think most fighters have injuries going into their fights. Like, actually, it's funny enough, I actually only got over an injury. So my thumb that I got surgery on, I hurt it in my last fight. 4 week. I fought 4 or 5 weeks before I fought in PFL as well. But I I think like 3 weeks after that fight, which was 2 weeks out from PFL, my thumb was only getting better. And I was like, grand, right, I have good movement now. And then I went and then I ended up hurting it in a different way. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? We always go into it in some way injured, but I think it's just a sign if you're not even somewhat injured, you're not training hard enough. You know what I mean? It's hard work, and like obviously the week of the fight, you'll try to recover, but because it's less physical. Obviously, you have a fight coming up and you're weight cutting, but you always kind of go in with something. And one injury I don't want to get is my knees. I would like to keep my knees and all ACLs and MCLs and LCLs and everything that goes with it. I'd like to avoid knee surgery. So I think it's good for those listening to if they are in the sport, just strengthen up their muscles, add a layer of armor on, and make sure you do a lot of mobility, stretching, all that jazz, because it's gonna come and get you if you don't. You know what I mean? It's gonna creep up, and that's when the injuries come. You know what I mean? So if you can always stay on the ball, and you know what I mean, not lack in any of your extracurricular, we'll say, you'll just have a more sustainable career.
100%. In a post, you talked about wanting to represent Ireland in the Euro series that PFL is going to have next year. Now, does that mean, like, what does that mean for your contract? What kind of contract did you sign, and is that how PFL works? You win your fight, you go on to the next round. Like, explain this to me.
Yeah, so basically, I signed a promotional agreement, which is basically a guarantee of a certain amount of fights over the period of the two or so years. Every way it works out, it's 12 or 5 fights basically. So my first fight was a qualifier fight, basically to get into the European Challenger Series or whatever it is, and so I had to win that fight to get in. So that was one of my fights gone. So now I have 4 fights left. Providing according to the contract. But in saying that, I was the only featherweight fighter who qualified for this tournament in Europe, meaning there's no other fighters in it. And unless I think they're 50-50 about whether it's gonna go ahead, or they're thinking about they'll probably be giving me a shot at the American one. But you know what I mean? I'm ready for either or. I don't really mind. I think the European one would be good for me in a way to build up to the American one. Because I'll be just racking up more fights, gaining more experience. Because the lads in the American one are very experienced. because they're fighting at the high level such a long time. But on the other hand, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind skipping the 4 fights and just skipping a chapter and getting to the American one with less damage, fresh ahead, hungry, ready to prove what I'm about. You know what I mean? And like I said to the other lads in PFL, like I know how good I am. I just need to prove it to you and show you fight by fight. So give me the opportunities and I will prove it to you. And I just have to. I think I have the right mentality to go into this American one, be it with all these experienced lads or not. You know what I mean? I think, like I said to the lads, I think anyone can be put out on their day, and I'm always up for myself on the day to upset whoever's in front of me. So, like I said, I wouldn't mind getting the experience in the European one, but if that's not in their plans, like I wouldn't mind doing the Steve American one straight away. Like I said, it's for $1 million, fucking life changing money that is. You know what I mean? So that the motivation I have for that is just through the roof. You know what I mean? And I'm really excited to get there because I know I will, regardless if I do have to fight 4 fights to get there. I'm fighting them 4 fights. I'm fighting my heart out for them 4 fights. I'm getting to that US series one step at a time. No matter what way I have to do it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm ready for whatever they give me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I like the confidence. I like your vision that you have for yourself. Um, Prior to fighting or prior to signing with PFL, you got a chance to fight under CFC. You fought with Bellator. As you being a free agent, was Contender Series ever an option for you? Was that something that you thought about, or did PFL come to you before that? How did that all work out?
You mean Dana White Contender Series, yeah?
The Dana White Contender.
Yeah. It's I kind of always wanted to go. Like my I never really thought about it this soon out because the way I saw it was regardless of whatever goals I have, I need to win the fights that are in front of me to get myself in a position to get to these opportunities. So, like for example, 3 4 fights ago, I was never in a position to be challenging for Dana White Contender Series. So I knew I had to get a good streak built up first. You know what I mean? And I got up five wins in a row with 4 first round finishes, and I thought that was enough to start maybe like looking out to see what's going on and try push some boundaries and see if we can get talking to people. But PFL were interested, you know what I mean, and they've been following me. I had to the CFC fight, you know what I mean, in Malta. I had to win that fight basically to be in with a chance to get this contract, you know what I mean. So I went out knowing I need to put this guy away, you know what I mean, and earn this. So I think in doing that, I already had my heart locked on this PFL thing, you know what I mean, because I just like the format of it. I like the structure. I like the approach. I like the staff. They treat me like one of their own, you know what I mean? And I'm only with the company for one fight, you know what I mean? The respect they all had for me. I had a bit of dinner with them and all after the event that night. You know what I mean? I was talking to the president and the CEO and Kenny Florian and a few lads and just getting a lot of information off them and learning from them. And I felt like I was comfortable around them all. You know what I mean? And I felt like I always say, I felt like I belonged there. You know what I mean? I felt like I deserved to be there with the work I put in, and the fact that they treat me like one of their own. It's like a kind of a real Irish thing. You know what I mean? You sit down, have your food and your drinks, and everyone just has to chat. You know what I mean? And I kind of felt that connection, and I was like, nah, I knew I made the right choice then. You know what I mean? I knew the way I went was the right way, and now I'm just believing in it, and I'm happy to be a part of this promotion that they're trying to build. But like I said, the format is great. Like, you know what I mean? Every season, it's fair game to win a great prize and $1 million. Obviously, I'm not at that one yet, but no, obviously that's where my visions are. So just think of that possibility every year you could be a millionaire. You know what I mean? And even if you're not, you're gonna be there with fighting consistently and getting paid. So I just thought it was the perfect approach for what way I fight. Like I said, I'm a consistent fighter. I like fighting regularly, consistently. I'm always in shape. I'm always ready to go. So I just thought this was the perfect promotion and the perfect platform for me to show abilities in a global way. You know what I mean?
Excellent. And yeah, you kind of answered my question. How does that 1 million? I understand you're taking one fight at a time, but how does that 1 million sound, and how would you envision yourself spending that?
Yeah, it sounds unreal. Like, obviously, that's life changing money to like I'm just a little shit from Finglas, you know what I mean? In Dublin, I'm an even though I'm doing well, I'm just a little nobody, you know what I mean? I'm just a normal fella. So to earn 1 million, you know what I mean? That's life changing, and to think of all the good I could do with that for me family, and my friends and stuff like that, if it need be. You know what I mean? That's unreal to me. I think first thing I do is pay off the mortgage from my parents, um, without hesitation. That's the first thing I'd do, and then from there, you know what I mean. We'd see how we can treat ourselves. You know what I mean. But yeah, I just look after me family first, and you know what I mean. I obviously I want to get into business as well. I think even though fighting's great money and stuff like that, I'd like to get into business and really start to have some other sources of income as well. Like, although fighting's good, it's not going to be forever. So it'll be good to try get some business ideas together in the next year or two, and start to get into that market as well as being a professional fighter, because like I said, it's not a forever thing, and I would like to have businesses and stuff like that earning me a few quid while I'm not fighting, you know what I mean? So definitely open some businesses and just look after me family. Basically, they're me two main things that I want to do when I make the million. Like,
Excellent. And I just want to close this with something fun for you. After every fight, or just in general, what's your go-to cheat meal?
what was me? It kind of changes. It changes every time. I don't like
Different
have a
variations.
specific thing. It's like, because I fought abroad a few times now, so it's like the first like thing I can see in sight that's something relatively not healthy. You know what I mean? If there's a bit of grease on it, I want that. You know what I mean? Or if there's a bit of chocolate on it, I want that. You know what I mean? But I just love pizza. I actually just love. I'd eat pizza after pizza after pizza. Honestly, I'm actually a joke. I'm such a man for the pizzas. It's actually unreal. But yeah, depending on where I am, it changes. I think after my last fight, what did I get? I had a salmon bowl. You know what I mean? That's PFL gave us like a salmon bowl. It was actually unreal. It was like salmon, rice, and everything like that. It was really nice. So that was a first for me. So maybe if PFL keep offering these healthy meals after, I'll keep eating them and stay on track basically.
Excellent. Well, the future's bright for you, especially in 2023. I wish nothing but the best for you so far. Heal up and rest up, and we'll talk again soon. I'd love to have you back on when you have a fight.
Thanks very much, Luke. From one Kelly to another.
Absolutely.